Hey, welcome to the Minty Chat. In this video, I turn this old field into a nice new concrete factory. Stick around to see how I do it. Okay, looks like we're here. Alright, so first off, I'm gonna go ahead and level from here out to about here. And it'll probably put a pretty good edge right there, and then later on that's gonna be like a pit. So this is the factory that I'm going to be using. It's a little bit bigger than I thought. I'm going to have to flatten out a little bit more of the area over here. Okay, that should be pretty good. So right in the beginning right there, right in the front, that's where the trucks back in to get filled with concrete. And right there, that's where we have to load all of our different stone and sand and stuff to mix the concrete. So I think I'm going to put the building about, let's see, about right there. And then I'm gonna put a scale house, so when trucks are coming in either to get concrete or to bring in sand, they can pull in over here. I'll put the scale house over here, and then trucks can come over here and unload, or concrete trucks can come over here and back in, and then go back out the scale house to make sure they're not overweight. Alright, so this one has a roof. I don't think that one's gonna work. This one doesn't have a roof. Okay, the scale house is gonna go right there. That's gonna be pretty sweet. This is gonna be our inbound, and then right here is gonna be our outbound. So let's go ahead and paint our driveway. So this is gonna be all asphalt right here. Probably have to get rid of that tree, I'm not sure. And then that's going to be our outbound lane. Looks like the Cummins weighs about 4,200 pounds. That sounds about right. I think that might be accurate. I'm not really sure. But our scale house works, so that's a pretty good start. I think I'm going to look for some one-way signs. I'm not sure if I have any. And put some barriers in between. Probably going to put a fence up around here too. Okay, I have a couple signs that's going to work out. I'm going to put this one about right there. And then over here, I'll flip it around. There, so you go that way. This stop sign, that's going to go right here for the scale. Like so. So I think I'm going to have it kind of like an intersection sign for down the road a little bit. I bought this parcel right here, and I can put the sign right there. I guess that's going to be fine. Just put a little bit of concrete around it, I guess. And I'm going to put just a couple little trees like that. Hopefully that tree's not in the way of the intersection. Well, the sign's not ideal kind of for the plant itself, but at least people know the plant's going to be down this road. Alright, I'm going to see about using these for the fence. Do something like that. I don't know if I like that. I might do something with that different later on. Alright, well now that I got some of the landscaping stuff down, I think it's time to go get some more stuff for the actual factory itself. So we need a couple things. I believe we need water in the tank right there. We also need like different sand, stone, like gravel, stone powder, the river sand, and the rubble. Rubble I think was something like different. But we also need to get the crane over there. So there's a few things we need to get to actually get the factory up and running. And the crane I believe goes over here. Oh, actually now that I think about it, yeah, we need these concrete bags too. Alright, let's get to work doing that. Okay, I got our crane all in place. That's pretty sweet. It's got the clamshell bucket. It's not really intended for, anything right here really. It's for when stuff is dumped in the bunkers over here. Or everything right here and whatnot. The clamshell bucket can come over here, pick it up, and then drop it in those things over there. I'll just hop in and I'll show you guys how it works. We don't have any product yet, but the whole setup is actually pretty sweet. Just gotta climb the ladder over here. Alright, so we drive over here. And then say we had something right there, we can open it up. Pick it up. Kinda like that. So this is pretty sweet. But for now we don't have anything, so I'm gonna go park it, do some more landscaping around here, and kinda go from there. Alright, so we weigh just over 13,500 pounds. It's not too bad. It's a pretty good size load. We got 8,000 liters of gravel. So we drive over here. Granted, I have a lot more landscaping to do too, but I wanted to get it going. Gravel will get dumped into this one. Probably have like 18 wheelers come in with a live bottom. Alright, so we weighed 13,000 pounds. And now we weigh just over 7,000 pounds. So that way we kind of have an idea of what's coming in and what is going out. So the scale house works. That's pretty sweet. I was wondering if that was going to work or not. Just got back with some water, the International from Roughneck Modding Crew. This truck's probably just going to stay here for the factory itself. Let's see if it'll take the whole thing. I'm not quite sure. Alright, well the water system's not full, but we got 50,000 liters, so that's pretty good. We still need a little bit more mixing to get our concrete factory up and running. We got gravel, and we still need stone powder or river sand and rubble. So walking around now back, right there's where the trucks get filled. I'm thinking about having a little driveway that comes out back here, and then kind of parks. It's not really that big, but just kind of park right here away from the crane. Because over here we have the staircase. And then in here, this is where we can control all of our stuff. And that brings us to our production chain menu. So that's pretty cool. And then we got a nice little front row view of like trucks going in and out. It's not that big of an area. It's got like some work desks and stuff. But it's pretty cool. I like it. So I'm going to put a couple Jersey barriers right here, just in case no one really sees the staircase and doesn't really hit it. Then I'm also going to put some right here that goes with the crane. And these are a little different than that one, but I'm just going to have some of these kind of go off right here. I'm actually going to extend this one out to go this way more. then one can have something like that, and then for like the employee parking, that can be over here. And then off of this one, I'm gonna have this go probably about here. So I have these people for decorations. It's pretty cool. We're gonna put a couple construction guys right here. And then I'm wondering if I should have one standing here too. So I have a few of these cement trucks for decorations. I think I'm gonna put a couple of these down. We'll just do a few of them right here. I got some of these tire marks I'm gonna put down. I like these tire marks. It makes it look like it's more used and not just like a brand new area. There we go. Now we have some coming in like that. Going around the corner like that. I like that. That's pretty sweet. I'm gonna work on this little driveway going around out back. Alright, let's make some parking spots. I'm gonna have one line just going straight kind of over here. Alright, I'm gonna do the fence. So I'm gonna put in, actually I'm gonna go the other way. I want the gate to go in like that. It's kind of a tight gate. That's the only thing I don't like about it. And then I'm gonna use the old school style, just kind of like a picket fence. And we'll kind of just go this way along with it. There we go, all fenced in and gated. That should be more than enough room for later on. Alright, let's go see how big that gate is when we go in and out. What's up, bro? How you doing? Actually, now that I think about it, that gate's not gonna work. No, that's right in the way for that road. I think my only option for a gate is going to be this one from FS Minor. It's a little bit wider too. I'm just trying to figure out, because it swings past a little bit more than 90 degrees, so I don't want it to hit the fence and also not hit the road. I think that's going to work pretty good. It's a little wider. Let's see if it hits the ground at all. Alright, cool. It doesn't hit the ground. It doesn't hit the fence. It's not going to be too much of a tight turn if you're coming in from that side or leaving that side. Kind of stinks the telephone poles right there, but I think we'll make that work. I just got to go and connect the fences to it now. There, with the fence all fixed. I mean, the corner's a little ugly right there, but whatever. And that branch is coming through. I got a couple things to fix, but the gate's definitely a lot wider. Doesn't hit the ground, doesn't hit the fence. I like it. That looks pretty good. I do want to kind of fix the cone situation now, though. Definitely don't need this one sticking out right here, so I'm gonna redo this real quick. Alright, with that being fixed, that makes the entrance not as awkward. Definitely a lot more room. So coming over here, where our lady's gonna be standing to direct people, we gotta have like a light in some kind of like, I don't know, little shack or some kind of little building. I don't think the door is open in this, but I think that's like a good size. I'm gonna put that right there, and then let's get some lights. Alright, we got a couple over there. There is lights for our way station, but I'm gonna put more. So up here I'm having this area restricted, even with the put everything mod. So I'm gonna just have like this big 4-way light just as close as I can. That should be enough light. Definitely gonna put a bunch of lights onto here. We gotta make sure this place is lit up. Alright, so over here we got one of these bigger lights. Let's see, yeah, I'm gonna use the 4-way. I don't want it to interfere with the crane, but I want it also to be lit up pretty good. Have one here. I'm gonna hold off on the lights for a few more minutes. I think the only thing this place is kind of lacking right now is like a maintenance shop or some kind of like storage area. And I kind of wish I didn't put those there, but they're alright. I think I'm gonna put a shop right here, and then we'll have plenty of room for our trucks to back up right there. And then kind of like over there is gonna be a pit. Alright, I'm gonna go with this one right here. It's got the 4 doors in the front, and then around out back it also has 2 more doors right there, so that's gonna be pretty sweet. It's got a bunch of lights in the front, but I'm gonna still put a couple extra lights around. I'm not gonna have like a huge drive out back here. It's kind of like gonna be like an extra little thing. So I'm just kind of half mooning it like that, and then I'll come around right here. Do something like that. Get rid of the concrete in the front. Alright, so I'm going to square this off right here because we're going to have trucks. Kind of back it in right there to fill up these. Or actually, I'm probably going to get a front loader. Alright, so back here though, I'm going to make all this concrete. Alright, let's go check out the shop. We got like this little storage area. Looks like we got a little upstairs storage. Little workshop. Pretty cool. Oh, we got a pressure washer. Nice, alright, I like that. I like that. Canadian flag, and we're in the Quebec mountain. That's kind of funny. Alright, this is a pretty cool garage. I like this. And then we have our other storage over here. And then we got, I think, the identical thing over here. Yep. Alright, I like these. That's pretty cool. So now I think all we need now, I'm gonna get like a little skid steer. And not like an overly big front loader, just like a medium size. And probably a concrete truck. So I picked up the small 908 front loader from FS Minor. That's going to do a good job around here. And then we got this old school 675 skid steer. Alright, so here's the intersection with our sign. Looks pretty good. Let's go see what our plant looks like rolling up on it. Alright, that looks pretty good from the road. Definitely got more than enough room. Alright, so I want to see if this is going to be tight. So we come over here. That's pretty much it though. That's pretty sweet. I'm excited to see what it looks like with all the lights and stuff on. Well, I think I have it the way I like it. Nothing better to do now than hop in the crane and actually get it loaded up, see what it's like. Alright, so we're gonna load up some of this gravel. So we take a scoop. I know that's a small scoop, but still works. And you come over here. And we dump it in. And then we do that for the rest of them. So that's going to be pretty sweet. Next thing you know, we're going to have concrete for our windmill, which is, I think, somewhere over there. And there we go, just like that. Wow, you already filled the truck. We already had enough concrete in here. Alright, we're going to pretend that's not full of concrete. But there we go. That works out sweet. I think that's going to do it though. I can't really think of anything else to kind of add around. I do want to see what it looks like at nighttime though, so I'm going to speed ahead time and check that out. Alright, that's it. Nighttime. Closing shop. Let's see, how bright is it? Not that bad, that actually looks pretty good. Well, let's go this way. We got some decent amount of lights on the building. We could probably add a couple of lights right here though, that's a little dark. We got our shed with our person all lit up. Check this out. It does open up, so that's pretty sweet. Oh, we can actually store stuff in here. That's a pretty cool shed. Yeah, it's definitely a little darker than I wanted it to be. Those lights don't put off that much light, to be honest. Come over here, we got our driveway and our parking lot. Our walkway going up to the factory is nice and bright. It's really nice and bright in here actually. This came out, I like that. Our crane lights are off. Let's see what those look like. I like the lights right here going up on around the roof. That looks really good. I like that. But I think that's going to do it. I think that's going to be perfect for bringing cement up on our mountain now. At least now we have a factory to actually get our concrete from. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.